The final car of car launch season has finally been released, with the RB20 being unveiled to us at their launch in Milton Keynes. Now, when we look at the Red Bull car, we know, because from the shakedown we saw, that the livery hasn't changed, and it's been confirmed now, yes, it's the same Red Bull livery. But we understand that for them, this is their brand. They don't want to change and do radical things. It's a bit of a shame, because I believe it would have been nice to celebrate the fact that they did everything they wanted to do, the double in the World Championship, the constructors and the drivers. Maybe it would have been nice to stick maybe a gold livery as to show that they have done something they've always wanted to do and won everything that's possible to win. But, you know, for them, this is their brand and they don't want to change it. And you can't argue with them. When you see the Red Bull, you can always identify who it is. It's a bit like Ferrari. Yes, there's been other teams who have dressed their cars up in red, but you never look at them and go, oh, that's an Aston Martin. Or, oh, that's an Alfa Romeo. No, you don't do that. You go, that's a Ferrari. And you confuse any other red car for a Ferrari. And it's the same. Red Bull want to make sure that their livery is distinct and that people can identify their car easily, so that's why they don't do much changing. That's fine. We've got used to that now. We know what Red Bull's cars are going to look like. That really isn't the interesting part of this launch. What is interesting is looking at the details of this car, looking at the way it's designed. We already saw from the shakedown the cannons, the big shoulders that this car has. Definitely something they've adopted from last season's cars, mainly the Mercedes, and they obviously have seen that and they've thought that's a good idea. But the cars are clearly getting more sophisticated aerodynamically. Look at the front wings. We've seen some really interesting front wings on these cars we've actually seen be produced actually on track. And also we're seeing around the inlets of the cars, the side pod geometry and the air inlets are changing radically. Some are going for overbites like this one, some are going for underbites, some are V's, some are big hollows. It's very interesting how they're going about designing these cars, and it's hard to tell who is going to be the fastest. But when you look at the Red Bull after the success that they've had, you've got to think that they have to be favourites to come out on top at the beginning of pre-season testing. But only time will tell, and there's a lot of interesting things about all of the cars that have been released which we've actually seen cars from. But mainly I think this shows that Red Bull have evolved their car, and we should be expecting similar performance from them this season. Now, when it comes to the ranking that we've been doing through pre-season, obviously there's only one space left, and that is in 8th. It's a bit of a shame, because Red Bull have got a nice livery for their car, but it's just nothing special, and that's where it goes. And I've quite enjoyed putting this ranking together. It's been interesting giving myself the restriction of not being able to change any of the positions that I've given, and I definitely would do things a little bit differently, but there we go. It is what it is, and this is the ranking for this pre-season. Now we head into pre-season testing next week, and then the first race the week afterwards, and we look forward to getting started. But let me know what you think of the RB20 in the comments below, and I'll see you for pre-season testing.